snow and hail. This is a nice big dark cloud over here. Yeah. So we are on our way to get the buoy, start hauling nets, and yeah, everybody's just waiting around till we get there, then we come out because of the weather. Smile for the camera, boys. So we've arrived. Now we're coming up to the buoy. He throws out a grappling hook, pulls that buoy in, connects the buoy to the green rope that goes in to the boat and all the way around to the back to where the nets are kept at the back. The buoy comes in. I will then take, or myself or somebody else will take in what's called the buoy rope, the eela, and we will then start hauling the nets. So they've now connected the ropes up. I start pulling in the rope, and then I disconnect it from the green rope, take in the buoy ropes and everything here, and then the nets get reconnected to the other rope that goes to the back, and the nets then get pulled through the pipes. I'll show you that in the next section. He's just adjusting for me the video so that you can see exactly what's going on and how we do it. This is just pulling in the buoy rope first that the buoy's attached to, and then comes the rope that the line is on. I'm going to speed that up for you so as not to waste too much time here. It is extremely noisy in this section of the boat. You're right below what's called the line hauler, the net hauler, should I say, and it makes a racket. So hence I'm always wearing headphones, and so are the other guys when they work in this area. You'll see in later pictures in that I've always got my headphones on because it was just so noisy in the beginning, and when we're pulling the nets in. This rope that we used for the buoy line and the anchor, up to the anchor, it's so thick and it's so hard to work with, and it's really springy, so the guy that's sitting down there is helping to just pack the rope down every now and then, because we haul so fast that it's impossible for me to pack the line down and try and keep it in place. I just sit on the line like that just to compact it down, so when I tie it up it's nicely compacted. now pulling in the green rope that's attached to the nets. That'll get untied, and the nets will then get attached to the green rope that goes to the back of the boat. So this is the start. We're hauling in the nets now. When we started on the boat, there were a lot of bad nets, so we had to remove quite a lot of nets. And yeah, they're just removing it. The first net's going to be taken out, and I'll show that in a picture just now. And yeah, let's get going. Let's haul the nets in. So as we remove the fish, we push the nets down. This is the table the nets are on, and it literally goes around the corner and through a chute, which I'll show you just now. At the moment, yeah, we just take fish out of the nets, and it's done with a little jiggy thing that you've got, like a hook system that you hold in your hand, and you pull the net over the head of the fish. Or if it's smaller, you pull the fish through the net itself. So we push the nets down all the way down to the bottom. You can see it goes up through this tube, and the nets go to the back of the boat, literally through a tube and out to where the guys are then putting the nets through the net placer in the back. Problem at the back with the net placer, or the net's not working properly like it should on the net placer, and it takes a bit of time, so we'll end up having to push all the nets down until they can catch up again. Rope at the back. He'll start hauling this green rope and then decide which basically hole the nets are going to then get placed into. The first line gets tied up, then the nets go in, and then the second line gets tied up onto the side, so that they know which is the bottom of the nets, which is the top of the nets, for reconnecting when we're going to put the line out again, or the nets out again. So this is the guy arriving at the back. He will then take controls of the net placer make sure that the nets get put down correctly, and also make sure that the first rope that comes in is tied in place and the last rope that comes in is tied in another place. He then knows exactly where the ropes are so that he can connect it correctly when we put the nets out again. Guy basically watches the screen to the back to see when the nets are basically placed on the table, and then he'll continue hauling as the nets come in. Sometimes then we have to stop in the front where the nets are actually coming in onto the table. We have to stop and be busy with stuff, or the nets get stuck, or there's too much fish or too much stuff in the nets and it takes us a while to get it out, so he has to wait for us to get the nets onto the table. So this is just a view from a different angle, pulling in the nets, basically taking in all the line, pushing the nets to the back, and then it getting fed through to the back. I'll speed this up so that I'm not taking up too much time. Put onto a conveyor belt that comes into this holding container, and then the fish get bled. You cut the throat to bleed the fish. It then gets sent down to the factory. It goes down the slide here on my left and down into the holding tanks in the factory where it bleeds out, and then the factory takes over with the processing. The next video I'll show you with the processing of the fish in the factory and down in the freezer room.
slowly on our way out to go fishing. Beautiful day today.